Good afternoon. Oh, we've got so much to talk about. David, you look as beautiful as ever. It's great to see you. You look a lot better than this office does. Oh my God. All right, we're going to do something different. Now, I don't know what people's tolerance for this will be, but I'm rooted in reality and data and different things like that. So I'm just not going to do the everything is awesome routine and tell you that the Lions are going to win every game by 700 points. And I just, guys, I can't do it. I hear enough of that on the station. What I am going to do is I want to truly qualify how big Sunday's game is. And not with cliche, not with the, whoa, everything's on the line. I'm going to do one better than that. I've got actual historical data on what's truly on the line. Now, clearly, the lead in all of this is it's a complete absurdity that the loser of this game falls to the 5 seed, considering the seasons both of these teams have had. It's an absurdity. And in that sense, I rank it right up there with the Lions getting boned with the amount of injuries they have. That this will never be duplicated. You will never have a game between two teams with 14 wins and the loser turns into a wild card who's got to go on the road 3 times. But that is what's on the line. So, okay, loser has to play next week, no bye week, and you have 3 road games. You will never get a home game. Okay? Here's what it really means. Only 5 teams in the history of the National Football League have ever done that. On the road, wild card, Super Bowl. Of the 5, the good news, if you do it, 4 of them have won. The problem is 4 of them had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And as much as I like Jared Goff, let's just not go there. So here are the 5 teams. It's the 85 Patriots. They got destroyed by the Bears. It was the 05 Steelers. Hi, David. It was the 07 G-Men. Hello, me. The 2010 Pack featuring young TJ Lang. And the 2020 Bucks featuring a guy you may have heard of, Tom Brady. I walk away after watching the last couple of games, albeit being on vacation, and I've believed the team that loses Sunday is going to lose the wild card round. There's just not going to be any toothpaste left in the tube. Now, I do believe the Lions will win Sunday. I do. Part of that, though, might be nonsense on my part, meaning the reason I believe you're going to win, it has nothing to do with your defense, who is awful. It has nothing to do with your offense, who's awesome. It has everything to do with, I just struggle to believe Sam Darnold is going to walk into Ford Field on Sunday Night Football and win this game. And I know a lot of people will think I'm being unfair to Sam Darnold, but he's fine. But I don't think he's great. I don't think he's fixed. I think Kevin O'Connell is one of the 3 QB whisperers in the sport. He's a witch. And Darnold's got great weapons. But Darnold holds on to the football forever. He's not great when he gets pressured. And I just don't think you people are going to allow him to win. I think this is one of the great home fields out there. But if you lose, that's what you're really up against. So, no, I'm just not going to do the shows where it's, well, we'll score 40 every game. I'm glad you said that. So here's what the last 10 Super Bowl champions' defenses have looked like. They give up 16 points a game. The Lions, the last 5 weeks, a.k.a. injury disaster plus real opponents, are giving up 32.6 a game. I mean, I don't feel bad out of the San Francisco game, but I don't feel good. And that's a San Francisco offense that was down their entire O-line. Practice squad players were out there. No CMC, no Ayuk. Good thing they have an idiot kicker. So, guys, what's really on the line Sunday is if you win, and I think you're going to, but part of that is I can't live in a world where Sam Darnold walks in here and beats us. If you win, you got about a 50% shot at getting to the Super Bowl. The number 1 seed buys you 50% shot that you get there. Those are incredible odds. If you don't, it goes down to like 1%. Because only 5 teams in history have gone on the road and done it. And those 5 teams, 4 of them had Hall of Fame QBs. And of those 5 teams, you have by far and away the worst defense. It's not even close. So in essence, what's on the line is the ability to get to a Super Bowl Sunday. If the Vikings lose, I think they lose the wild card. If you lose, I probably lean that way too. So I want to know if you're accepting of those terms. Like, you can't fight history. Now, you can find your way around it. You know, rules are meant to be broken. Records are meant to be broken. I understand that. But that's what I'm putting into Sunday. The winner has a real shot to get to a Super Bowl, and the loser, basically, here's your washer and dryer. Thanks for playing on The Price is Right. You could tell me where I'm right, where I'm wrong. But what I'm not going to do, especially off vacation, is what I'm hearing a lot of other places on this station, which is just euphoria nonsense. Oh, we'll just never punt again. Yeah, that's not real life. Well, we'll score every time we touch the ball. No, you won't. We'll do a pitchy woo-woo, and I don't care. Winning a Super Bowl is the hardest thing to do in sports. There's no give-backs. There's no bad days at the office. There's no best of 3, best of 5, best of 7. It's really effing hard. And this team's margin is not very big. And you know how I know that? Watch how Dan Campbell's coaching. He has no outs. He's playing the cards he's dealt. He has absolutely no ability to not go for it, to not take huge risks. Why? He's telling you this defense can't be helped. We're out of bodies. So, look, Sunday, it's for all the marbles. But with the historical data, that's the key. It's one thing to go on the air and use every, John Facenda NFL Films cliche. No, here's the data. Only 5. If you lose Sunday, only 5 teams got where they needed to go in the history of the game. I don't want those odds. And I do think you're going to win. But it's not really rooted in the matchup stuff. It's rooted in ginger quarterback things. I watch Sam Darnold, and I never walk away feeling like it's anything other than a high wire act. He leads the league in turnover-worthy throws. Had another turnover on Sunday this week against the Pack. And half of the time, you don't know if he's going to throw it to the right team. So, David, I would love your take on this. I feel like people have given up their ability to be free thinkers here when it comes to this football team. It's a mob mentality where even if you support them, you don't support them enough, or any form of criticism means you're a turncoat bastard. It's a weird vibe, and I just don't subscribe to any of it. If you want to make the Super Bowl, you better win Sunday. And if you don't, you're probably not going. And there's the data. And the defense coming out of that game against San Francisco, no, I don't feel worse. I don't feel better. I feel how I feel. This team is going to need to outscore people. And when that is your way out in the playoffs, the history of the NFL says you're not hoisting the Lombardi. There has to be complimentary football. David, what's your take on all the babble I just offered you fresh out of vacation?
See, before I even saw the stats that were presented to me regarding the 5 teams there, I was already leaning in the direction that this is a playoff game for the Detroit Lions. And I know people are going to say, oh, whoa, good. Sure, of course it is. You got to get the 1 seed. No, you have to get the 1 seed. If you want a chance at the Super Bowl, you have to get the 1 seed. I already believe Tampa Bay gives you trouble. We've seen them the last couple years against the Detroit Lions. They've given you trouble. You go there, I believe you lose. The Rams have given you trouble. You head to L.A. If that happens in the playoffs, you're going to lose if you're the 5th seed. So, yes, it is needed. The 1 seed is needed if you want a chance at the Super Bowl. And I know I already see people on Ticket Text. Oh, but they have a better road record than a home record. That doesn't mean anything. The playoffs, to me, the home field advantage matters. And having that 1 seed all the way through the playoffs matters. But, yeah, I'm worried about this game after Monday. After Monday, when they had to basically score every possession and you had to get lucky to get an interception to give yourself a shot in the second half, that can't happen. Because last year Last year, while 20 to the 20-yard line, yes, they let the guys get whatever yardage they wanted to get, but they stopped teams in the red zone. What's different right now is they're not stopping teams in the red zone. Teams are scoring on them. That's the difference. That's why you need to win this game for home field advantage.
Yeah, and look, the other thing is the bye week, David. I mean, if they win, yeah, they got every right to believe they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I still have major doubts about this defensive front four, but they got every right. They'll get the bye week. They'll play at home. Maybe Philly trips up, whatever. But if you lose, no, that's really what's on the line. You become another footnote in history, most likely. So do you accept those terms? Because I don't hear a lot of realistic conversation on this station. And that's just not what I'm interested in. I'm just not. We're all rooting for the same thing. We all want the same thing. We want a parade. But that, what you want in reality are two different things. Do you know why this game is so big? Because it's going to hurt if you lose it. Everyone's operating as if it's only something to gain and nothing to be lost. Oh, well, it doesn't matter if we lose. No, it does. So just call a different show if your take is it doesn't matter. I'm not interested in speaking to you. Happy New Year. I mean, it's just simple for me. Games have to have cost. The Super Bowl is such a big deal because when you lose, it rips your guts out. There is no, it's okay, it was a good year. No. And factually speaking, with the data that we have in the history of this sport, if you lose, only 5 teams have dug themselves out of the hole to go on the road, wild card, divisional, championship game, and go to a Super Bowl. Now, I think they're going to win, but I can't offer you great reasons. Minnesota's playing elite football. They didn't have Hawkinson the first time. They do now, and he's playing great. They have had a third weapon emerge in Naylor, and Addison's dialed in, and Jefferson's just who he is. And their defense is doing what they do. They take the football away. Now, I believe your offense is better. I believe Ben Johnson right now is conducting an orchestra. But I can't offer great, football stuff. Your defense look, if you get 3 stops, 3, if you could force 3 punts, you win. I can't even say that you'll do it. Well, but at home, at night, here, with this fan base going nuts, probably 17 delay of games and false starts, I just believe they'll win. But, David, it's still the biggest thing for me is I can't believe Sam Darnold's walking in here and beating them.
And that's a huge if. That's a huge if. But what you just said is probably the key. That home field advantage where you get maybe false starts from the crowd because they can't get sacks right now. They can't get that right now. That's going to knock them back down to a 1st and 15 or 2nd and 12 or whatever it is. So that false start, and actually, that's going to be your sack on Sunday.
All I need are 2 interceptions by Kirby Joseph.
Oh, that's all you need.
Just keep doing that every week. 248-539-9797. So we're going to talk a lot of Lions today, and we are going to get into the college football playoff a little bit because it's a mess. It's a total mess. But I wanna examine why, what we can do to fix it, and then get your take on it, guys. You're the one eating at the buffet. Here are the 7 games you've been served. Are you enjoying your entree? 97.1.